Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today is a day that only happens once in a person's lifetime. Okay, were you thinking I was going to say, you're getting married, you win $1 million? It's my birthday today. It's my 60th birthday today. And I thought, you know what, that's a pretty big milestone. I'm just a couple days away from flying to Amsterdam and getting on a transatlantic cruise with some people and have a blast on that ship, the Rotterdam with Holland America. But I started reflecting recently on how things have changed during my 50s in my life. It's crazy how many things have changed. And of course, one of the biggest changes, of course, was this channel and all the extra cruising that I get to do from before. I used to cruise before, but not near what I'm able to do right now. And I'm eternally grateful for this because it's you guys who watch the channel who allow me to be allowed to do these sort of things. But I just wanted to reflect over the last 4 or 5 years, some things that have happened and some things I've gotten to do. Of course, the whole channel actually started with bad news. It actually started with like devastating news. I was a manager at a conglomerate company running a warehouse here in Ottawa, and I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And quite literally, they told me my first operation, I had less than a 50-50 chance of getting up from the table. That's how big the blockage was and stuff like that. At the same time, a girl who was my best friend who I'd been seeing passed away. In fact, she was buried on the same day as I was having my very first cancer operation. So a very, very rough time of my life back then. And I made it, obviously, through the surgery, recovered pretty well, and was going through my chemo and things like that. And at that point, it's when it hit me that I may not be able to go back to my old job. It was a very physical job. It was loading trucks and running a warehouse and forklift operating and unloading trailers and things like that. So I said, well, what can I do while I'm off work on disability that maybe, I can make some money on if I have to. And I said, well, I know travel. I decided to do travel agent, and I trained to become a travel agent, and I signed up for a company, the company I'm still with today, Travel Only, because I love the people who work there. And I trained for pretty close to a year, just taking every course I possibly could. I passed my license, etc., and studied and studied and studied and studied. I took every cruise line's training course and became whatever their top leader was, like as far as you can get this high in your training and you can get this high with Princess, this high with Holland, this high with Norwegian. I went to the top on all of them. I did every training course possible. And then I said, great, I'm in Ottawa. The cruise capital of the world, folks, is Ottawa, Canada. And I said, well, maybe I should, I decided I'm going to start a YouTube channel and maybe people will recognize me here in Ottawa and maybe I can get some business. And that one decision is the decision that really changed my life for the better. I'll honestly admit that. The channel started to slowly grow, but I started to cruise, people started recognize me, and I got to meet some of the most amazing people out there. And as the channel grew even more and more people recognized me, I got to do things that I never even got to do when I was cruising on my own without thinking it. I've met captains, I've met all the entertainers, I've had people spoil me and offer me to stay at their houses. I've had people who could not, who stood outside waiting for me to get off a ship just so they could say hi. And it's always immensely heartening whenever that kind of stuff happens. But let's talk about some of the people I met on board the cruise ship. First of all, I get to travel with another person who's been in front of the camera all the time. You've probably seen him. You know who he is. He's one of my best friends, of course. I'm talking about Suitcase. Oh, okay, I'm not really talking about Suitcase. I'm talking about my buddy Tony, who, FYI, Tony and I are going to do a live stream on Wednesday. If you want to tune in for that, 8 o'clock my time here in Ottawa, and 8 o'clock Florida time, Tony's time. Yeah, Tony and I became fast friends through YouTube at first. We've sailed together many times, including some harrowing experiences, like when we were just about to set sail out of Shanghai for a Japanese cruise. I've also met other amazing people in the industry. You know, I've met JJ Cruz, I've met Jay from Ship Life, I've met Ben and David, I've met a ton of people out there, you know, Ordinary Adventure, you name it, I got to meet them and kind of fanboy myself about it. Speaking of fanboy, I'm extremely honored that I can call a captain of cruise ships my friend. I just met one on the Oasis of the Seas. Amazing tour, amazing captain, really nice guy. I hope I can call him my friend as well. And of course, Captain Kate. Who I was shocked and startled to know she knew who I was at all. And I think I can consider her a friend as well. All the entertainment staff I get to meet out there, people I just run into on the street, and I got recognized in my grocery store this weekend. Some gentleman came up and just said, "Love the channel, just want nice meeting you in person." And like, are you kidding me? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And again, one more time, if you ever see me out there, do not be shy. Come and say hi. Absolutely. So yeah, that goes without saying. But another thing, I've stayed in tiny cabins, inside cabins. I've stayed in suite cabins. I've stayed in such a variety, and I got to do all these experiences out there that a lot of people don't get to do, and unique experiences, like sometimes like going to Alaska and having the skies filled with eagles.
Eagle, mates for life. They can live upwards of 22 years in the wild.
Now for you who have eagles around all the time, as somebody from Ottawa, I don't. So that's kind of unique to me. I got to go whale watching experience. I've been to Japan, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Greece, I've been to Rome, I've been to England, I've been around the world on cruises, and it's all because of you folks out there. I got to hold my very first group cruise back in 2019, And I tell you, I might not look nervous, but I was nervous because I was responsible to make sure everybody had a good time. And to this day, people who were on that cruise are some of my best friends out there. We don't get to see each other all the time, but they know that they can reach out any single time if they ever need to talk. One of my friends, Julie, who we met on that group cruise for the very first time, she was one of the group of ladies that I kind of tried to get out of their comfort zone, if you will. You know, there was so many of them, and that they were traveling together as a group of ladies or single, and I said, well, let's go do stuff together on that shore excursion. And so like like one of my friends, Julie, well, if you don't remember Julie was the one who was on the zip line screaming all the way down and having the time of her life.
There you go, Julie.
And I'm proud to say that I was able to get people out of their comfort zone, and they had a blast. And so to this day, Julie sent me an Amazon gift card, birthday card. She sends me one every year. Whether she talks to me or not, that year she sends me a gift card. So like, Julie, again, thank you very much. I got like tons of text messages this morning wishing me a happy birthday. I'm amazed everyone remembered it was my birthday, because sometimes my own family doesn't remember. Are you listening, kids? But yeah, it is truly blessing for some of this stuff. And one of my favorite things I have gotten to do is I mentioned that I had cancer, and I went through some cancer treatments and everything. And one of my best friends moved in with me for like 6-7 months during my worst cancer times. I mean, worst. I was looking horrible. I was in pain. I could barely move, and she moved in and helped look after me. And you know, we've been friends all the time. And so she's not a cruiser. She doesn't get to cruise a lot. And when I'm able to take her on a cruise, I like to spoil her. And of course, I'm talking about my friend Alicia. And one of my favorite things is when I was able to take her on a full cruise finally, like a 7-day cruise, and I surprised her with a suite. The look on her face to me was worth every penny. Okay, Alicia, how come every time we get in the hallway, we're always at the wrong end of the ship? Every time.
Like to get our steps in.
All right. Hopefully the cabin is at least the same size as the Allure.
I was happy with that.
Yeah.
I can fit in the shower. That's all.
I could barely fit in the shower, so there. I could fit. I couldn't lift my arms. Well, it's okay. Hi there. Yeah, these are the ones we always want to ring the doorbell and walk by.
Yeah.
But that's your room.
That's your room.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Don. Don.
Yeah, we might have different rooms than you're expecting.
Don.
6142 Mama Alicia.
Yes.
Ha
Welcome. This is your
I
key.
think I got her.
You sneak. You absolute sneak. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'm a little shocked right now. He tricked me.
I didn't tell her
He
I got
said we were
sweets.
just we just had a regular
Hi there.
a balcony, right?
Yeah.
That's what. So I've been tricked, and I'm very surprised.
So welcome to your
Okay.
welcome to your royal.
Oh, okay. I can't go in here.
Come on. You gotta go. Thanks.
Ridiculous.
This excuse us, we still in
Oh yeah, we're just gonna drop and
I'm
go.
still shocked.
And of course, you can see here the smile on her face on those jet boats. She's having a blast as well, and that meant everything to me. Absolutely. And of course, traveling with Tony, we got to see things that you don't get to see a lot. How about when all the school kids in Japan showed up at our dock and danced and shouted to our cruise ship? It happens once a year, folks, and it happened to be the ship I was on. And then, of course, you get to meet the cruise directors and everything. Like my good friend Natalie, who I just was on the Royal Princess with in Alaska. She actually hurt herself right after I left the ship. And so I hope she's doing well in Australia right now. She's home with her mom and being looked after and seeing some doctors and that. But I hope she gets back on a ship soon so we can sail together again. But, you know, lifelong friends that you meet. Cruise director. How about my friend Kevin that I met and who had the best time in the world knocking me out of the yes-no game show.
All right. What did you do before you got into the travel industry? And
I used to work for Frito-Lay. I used to be a manager there with a chip company for 21 years.
what made you change from Frito-Lay to travel?
It's a sad story, but I came down with cancer.
Oh, well now I can't take you out.
Nope. Ah!
Kevin!
I just love his laugh, his reaction when he knocked me out. Because I don't think he was expecting me to get out at that point. I was doing pretty well. But as you can see, I'm not very good. The yes-no game show. I'm like 1 in 52. I'm not great at it at all. And finally, of course, I mentioned that I'm with Travel Only. And I got to travel with my friends in the travel agency. Every once in a while, we get to go on a cruise together because it's like a naming ceremony, or the cruise line wants to show us a new ship, like the Apex, when we were on the Apex, and I got to be able to say, hey guys, come on, let's go into the Lumine restaurant, the sweet restaurant, let's have dinner. And I meant it, you can come, you come. And we started out with 3, and we ended up with like 9. And we had dinner in the sweet restaurants. And I just love traveling with those guys. I love traveling with you guys. I've been to some beautiful places all around the world. And yeah, it's been an amazing run. And I just turned 60 today. That's a whole new age group, guys. I can no longer say I'm middle-aged, because who lives to be 120? Right? But I think I'm doing pretty good. I have a lot more cruising to show you folks. And I hope that, you know, some of my tricks and my experiences that I show you along the way, like for instance, when everyone was looking, how do we get tested and things, and like I showed you different testing locations like Lab Doctor in Florida, where it's right beside the cruise port and right near a bunch of hotels. I hope those little tips help you in your journey. I hope you'll continue to follow along, because I hope there's many, many more experiences coming in the future. We have a couple more group cruises next year. I'm leaving for a group this week, but I'm on it starting Saturday. And yeah, it's been an amazing 5 years so far. I didn't know if I would make 55, let alone 60. So yeah, here's to another 10 years of cruising.